Hello, welcome to the third week of learning Pygame. This week's goal is creating a movable character that can change appearance when clicked. I'd assume that you already know how to create a simple game loop in Pygame. For simplicity, I will be using the rec object in Pygame to represent as my character. You can really use anything you want. In the last week, to create a moving object, we created a variable to create animation. This time, we will be using the rec features for the purpose of moving objects precisely and efficiently. There's actually two ways to handle input from the user. First is the event loop, and the second one is the pygame.keyGetPress method. To create movement where the user will keep moving as long as the state is we're still holding the key, we will create a function that takes the key as an argument and checks the keys that are currently being pressed. And to create a conditional for any key, follow this format. Try it yourself. Implement the condition that will be responsible for your character's movement in all directions. The variable that is responsible in storing the getPress function should be inside the game loop. We will only call the function and pass it through the function that we made. We're almost finished, but there's an issue. The object can move, but it can also go outside of the display as well. For this, we need to create a condition when the position of the rectangle hits any of the edge of our display, it will not go any further. Now since it's a rectangle, I suggest you detect the collision for the sides that are specifically closer to that side, since manipulating the actual x and y values would mean manipulating the position itself, not the actual rectangle. Now that we've successfully prevented our character from going outside the frame, all we need to do now is implement the change of appearance. We used the getPress method for the keys. Now we will be using the event loop in order to implement this feature. Implementing an input in the event loop consists of two states, mouse button down and mouse button up. Down meaning if any of the buttons of the mouse has been clicked, and up being that a button on the mouse has been let go. Once we have implemented this condition, we will create a condition specifying what button we want to press and what should be the position of the mouse. This is where the method of collide point comes into use. In this case, our mouse position collides with the rectangle at any point. This will return us a boolean value that is true. But that alone shouldn't be enough. We also need to make sure the user does click the rectangle even if it's colliding. For this, we will be adding another condition where the user will need to be pointing at the rectangle and pressing the specific mouse button, in this case, the left click. An exercise for you is implementing in your own approach on how would you change the appearance of your character.